Hey everybody, Rob Cootie here. It's Tuesday, October 27th at 10:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, Marie and I will be going live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you will, please share our podcast with our fellow network marketers all across the world. You can do that by hashtag the MLM solution, hashtag the MLM solution. We want to have share it with them so they can have access to this great information themselves, so they can make their businesses go to the next level. And all process can start with you, and we appreciate in advance you doing that for us. With that being said, we'll be going live here at 11 a.m. very shortly. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Miss Marie, how are you doing today?
Rob, I am doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I feel good, and you can see the tape on my shoulder, and that's all I have. No longer the sling, as you know, and it's great to have just that.
No, positive progress going on. I like it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The only thing I have is the swelling. If I can hold my hand up, this is my normal hand. My daughter and my granddaughters saw the other hand, and their eyes got oh my gosh, Dad, are you okay? It is swollen because I can't lift it. And the only time I can get my heart above, or my arm above my heart, is when I lay down on my back and the swelling goes down. But boy, it is ugly. So with that being said, I'll be glad when this is over.
Yeah, it's a bit of a process. So
It is. And I've seen real progress in the last week. I can at least lift it now. It's hard. It's weak, very weak. And there is some pain. There's no doubt about it. But as you know me, I'm determined not to take pain medication if I can help it. But you got to move it, and you can't let the muscles sit in one spot. And actually, as you know, the soft tissue pain can be stronger than the bone. And I can vouch for that. The bone pain is every once in a blue moon and not as intense, believe it or not, as the soft tissue, which is crazy, but it's true.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, this is not about me. It's about our podcast today, guys. On the podcast, all of you on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, Blueberry, all that. We're grateful for all of our followers and listeners. We are on podcast number 67, and it is network marketing and social media. Well, we can go in so many different directions with this subject matter, but what we're going to be talking about today is the pros and cons, is the best way to put it, of social media. We're going to keep it short and to the point, and only talk about the subject matter that really is relevant to you right now in your business building process. Should you use it? Should you not use it? If you choose to use it, how do you use it? Because Miss Marie yesterday in podcast 66, we talked about do not chase your prospects. Well, guess what? You can chase prospects on social media. You can come across as scammy. You can come across in so many negative ways. Using social media in a proper way where it will enhance your reputation instead of take away from it is a delicate balance. You have to know how to do it in order to use it effectively. So we're going to talk about that in this episode. Miss Marie, first and foremost, how are you doing outside of saying hi today? You doing well?
Yep, I'm doing great. I'm excited to dive into this subject. This is one of those things when I looked at it on our topic list, I was like, Oh my goodness, we could do a weekend conference on this topic. So we've got to be kind of focused and zone in on what we're doing here. And obviously we're talking to people who are relatively new to the network marketing industry or just coming back or considering it. So kind of on the front end. So that's going to be more the area of our focus when we're talking about social media, because I'll be honest with you, there are more uses for social media, in my opinion, as you advance in your career, building your business through your network marketing company. Personally, I don't really recommend even using social media in your first 90-day mini blast, to be honest, because it's just one of those areas where you're going to lose focus and it's going to be squirrel and you're going to lose a bunch of time.
I agree with that 100%. Very well put. And, the last three episodes, we have not done our gong. Did you know that?
And you know what? Actually, I have to admit, Rob, I haven't missed it.
I knew that. That's the reason why you didn't bring it up.
True.
There you go. The official start of our show. I haven't been doing it lately. I wanted to see if Miss Marie would notice.
Well, I noticed, but I ignored it.
There's the truth right there, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, that being said, that's a great segue, the way you started it. And yes, social media can definitely be the little shiny object, chase the squirrel, there it goes, in this scenario. But if you insist on using it, we need to at least address it. And one of the cons is it is a shiny object, okay, to take you away. Because look, what we advocate, look, you're going to get more leads off of a lead generation site, which we're going to be bringing out sooner rather than later. And the thing is, you're going to get more leads, whether they're high quality or not is relevant at this point. When you're starting out right now, you need leads and you're going to get practice contacting those leads. So the point is that you don't want to get caught up, because the leads that you're going to get off social media is not going, the amount of leads too, not only the quality, but the amount is not going to warrant the time that you're going to take to quote unquote use social media. Okay. So with that being said, really that kind of sets up the whole show here. Let's talk about some of the pros first of using social media. The social media obviously reaches a lot of people. And the thing is, if you have money and you go to a place like Fiverr.com, you can hire a quote unquote professional to set up a page and run advertisements targeting network marketers. Okay. And you really can do that pennies on the dollar, bringing in leads. Okay. But the person on Fiverr, if you choose to go, there's so many of those sites. I'm just using Fiverr because that's who I use. If you use Fiverr, that person doesn't know anything about network marketing. They really don't know who to target, because you can get very specific in Facebook advertising. I don't know about Twitter, etc. But the thing is that if you're going to do that, you have to let them know that you're looking for kind of a newbie or you're looking for a veteran, whatever the case may be. You have to be very specific, because Facebook advertising will allow you to get very specific. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to have them set up a page. If you already have a page on Facebook or even Twitter, you want to set up separate pages altogether for just your business side. Okay. And that takes time. Okay. They're going to charge you for setting that up. You can set it up yourself, and you got to kind of set it up in a kind of professional way. You don't want it to look too amateurish, if you will. At the same time, you want to make sure that in your social media approach that you're not advertising your opportunity, because just because you have a social media presence doesn't mean that you're not going to come across as scammy. Doesn't mean that you're not going to come across as a biz opportunity approach if you use certain keywords or a certain approach. That's where the delicate balance comes in. Okay. Now, we're sticking with the pros right now. The pro is you can reach a lot of people across the world about your opportunity. Okay. Utilizing social media. There's no doubt about that. The That's about the only pro I can really come up with. Okay. It can be another way for you to create leads. When you use a lead generation site, typically the people that go through the lead generation sites are people that are already looking. In other words, they're getting on their keyboard and they're searching for business opportunities, network marketing opportunities. That's different because those are kind of pre-qualified when they are searching themselves. On Facebook, you're going out and reaching out, looking for, which is a totally different approach. Okay. And you can say whatever you want. The bottom line is that when you're reaching out and people are coming to your page, you now have to have the ability to present yourself on your Facebook page, which is a pro and a con at the same time. The pro side is you can make a video saying, hey, I'm Rob Cootie, and and I could do my music to the ears message right there. Okay. And leave it at that. And if I was doing a Facebook page, that's exactly what I would do. I would do nothing more than get a first class banner made for the Facebook page, maybe the Twitter. I'd make my music to the ears message. I'd make it as professional, the video, as I possibly could. Not coming across too slick. I want it to be real, but at the same time, I want to look nice. I want to speak nice. I want it to come across in a very confident way. I want to deliver it in a confident way. And the great thing about video is that you can keep doing one take after another until you get one that you feel meets that criteria. And you can put that video up. So when people come to your page, that video, I guess it'll play automatically. I'm not really sure. But the point is, even if it doesn't, hey, click on it, because you don't want to have anything else on there. You don't want them going all over the page. You want them to be focused on that video so the video can deliver the music to the ears message to them very clearly and concisely. The other pro is you can put a form where they put in their name and their email address. Hey, if you want more information, please fill out this form, and it'll notify me, and I'll get with you right away. And you can also prompt them to put in a telephone number. Now, the bad thing about forms is that a lot of people don't feel comfortable putting out their email address, telephone number, etc. So if you make a music to the ears message, you have to say, please fill out the form below. Yes, it does ask for your telephone number and this and that. I am not going to hound you. I'll send you an email or reply asking you when's a good time to talk, okay? And we can do a video conference. That would be the tail end of your music to the ears message, so that the people would know that they have an option to do a Zoom call, etc. So those are the pros about the using social media as far as setting up the page. Miss Maria, I'm not trying to dominate. I'm trying to set this up real quick because this is a complicated, delicate subject. So that is the pros of setting up the page. That's all you've done here is set up the page, okay? And it's all in one convenient place. The bad thing on Twitter, you can't do what you can do on Facebook. So you're almost stuck with doing Facebook, although you can set up a music to the ears message on video as long as it's short. It's got to be a minute and below, I believe. There's limitations, or maybe it's a file size. Whatever the case may be, there's limitations on Twitter. But here's the thing. You can put a link to your Facebook page on Twitter and just say, hey, click the link below. It'll take you to my Facebook page. You can contact me there if you want to talk, okay? So that you could do this circle. It's called a marketing circle. And you just connect all the dots where that circle ends up on Facebook. Facebook's the starting point. It's the end point. If you use Instagram, the link takes them to Facebook. So you have that circle. Okay, you have Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, Snapchat, and all that crap, and it all goes back to Facebook. Okay, so now we have that out of the way, all right? And those are the pros, and it's one of the prongs of your maybe 3 or 4 prong recruiting process or lead generation process. Okay, now that is all good, well, and you've got it done. But here's the thing. When you do that, you got to realize that you have the ability to come across in a very scammy way. The cons are you're using Facebook. The cons is that you're using social media. The only thing that helps you overcome that is your video. And the video is imperative in this, because if you don't do the video, They don't see you, they don't hear you, they don't see your mannerisms, and you're just like anybody else pushing an opportunity. If you put a marketing video from the company up there, you are now in marketing. You are now a network marketer. You're not a business builder. If you put information up there about your product, guess what? You're now into marketing. You're now a network marketer. You're just like everybody else. You're pushing your opportunity on people. If you remain professional, you make it clear you're a business builder, you're a professional business builder, you're not a network marketer, and the music to their message, that's what I'm saying. But if you have those things in there and you say, look, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm looking to make money, I'm all about the lifestyle, this business model gives me the ability to tap into an exponentially growing company to make a ton of money, especially if it's a phase one company where 70% of the wealth is created. Okay. I am looking for people that understand that. If you're about making money, if you're about lifestyle, and you understand that you can tap into this business model and create that kind of money and income, that I would like to talk to you. Okay. You don't talk about the product. I paraphrase the music to the ears message because we don't want to. That's what you have to do. And that's it on your Facebook page. Because if you don't, the cons are you're going to come across as a scam. You're going to come across as a network marketer. You're going to push people away. You're not going to intrigue them. The other con is if the video doesn't play automatically, then what ends up happening, which I think it does, but what ends up happening, people have to literally click on the video to start it. Okay. Even if they find your page. Okay. The con is you're going to have to pay advertising money to send people to your Facebook page that are pre-qualified network marketers. Okay. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that can be very costly, especially if you hired somebody, a Fiverr, that really doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, literally, I'm telling you, you can ruin you financially. You could have $1,000 day, a $2,000 day, and you get a bill for $2,000 from Facebook if somebody doesn't know what they're doing. Okay. It is a scary proposition. Okay. You could be $2,000 for 1 week. Okay. The bottom line is you have to have somebody that knows what they're doing and give them a budget and tell them they have got to stick within that budget. Okay. And you may get 800 people come to your Facebook page. And out of those 800 people, you may only get maybe 10, 12, 13 serious leads out of that. And once again, the one third is going to work on that. I don't care where you get your leads from. You're going to have that one third work. Okay. So you're going to have to determine whether that is worth the investment or not. The con is the amount of time it takes to make the video, the amount of time it takes to set up the page, the amount of time or the money it takes to drive people to that page. You got to pay the Fiverr person on top of that. And not only, as you can see, it can be time consuming, it can be costly. It's going to be, $200, maybe $300 when it's all said and done. I mean, that's just the way it is. I do not do advertising on Twitter. I'm not a big social media person. As you know, we use it out of necessity for our show. But outside of that, I rarely get on there. I have not seen enough benefit to where I could, and see where it's worth our effort, time, and money to do that. Not saying it doesn't, okay, because I know it does for certain people, for certain things, okay. We are more YouTube centered and other platforms than we are Facebook, right, Miss Marie? Okay.
Absolutely. And I'm going to kind of pile on to your list of cons by even stepping back for just a moment. Keep in mind, a lot of network marketing companies have rules in their standard operating procedures or whatever their distributor, independent contractor guidelines are in terms of how, where, and when you can use the name of their company, the names of products, all those different types of things. And then also you need to be very careful, especially in this day and age. Facebook and Twitter are not exactly fans of free speech, nor are they fans of the network marketing industry in general. Yeah. And they make it very easy for people to be offended by a post or a video that you have, and you can get reported and you can have your page taken down. Yep. You may have invested a bunch of time, money, and effort into that as your lead generation site. And somebody who decides they have an axe to grind with the industry comes across your video and goes, oh, this is crap. And they report you, and that's it. And no matter how much you're going to argue your case and how right you are in having your page and being able to express that, even if you do it correctly, you can lose it in an instant. And really, even from an attraction standpoint, you need to be pretty subtle. The biggest mistake I see people making on social media is, hey, I have all these friends on Facebook. I just started with this new network marketing company, and boom, that's all you see on their page. They're pushing their product or pushing the company or whatever it may be. And that is a huge turnoff, because I mean, honestly, if you think about it, social media, what is that? That's mostly your friends and family network. These are not people that are necessarily looking for an opportunity or a cure to the common cold or whatever the product is. And they start tuning you out, turning you off, unfriending you, those types of things. So it doesn't work real well, again, especially early on in your network marketing business building career. I really see it as an advanced, down the road, maybe consider it a little bit more.
I would tend to agree with that. And here's a couple of reasons why. Number one, if you want to buck what we're saying and you say, no, I'm going to use social media anyway because I know more than they do, well, kudos to you. Good luck. Okay. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying good luck because I know the challenges. But here's the thing. If you choose to use a message outside of the music to the ears message, do not quote how much people can make. You will open yourself up legally to be sued. Do not do that. Okay. Do not even talk about what you're making. Big, big mistake. As she just stated, to people today are so sensitive to so many things, and it's illegal for me to show a paycheck, a legitimate paycheck from the company, because that insinuates that you can make this money too. Okay. Which is not true. Not every person is going to make that kind of money. There's too many variables. Okay. Yes, it shows what Rob did, and that is factual. Okay. I have a real check in my hand that I can cash. Okay. That there's no debating that. That's a fact. But I cannot do that because once again, it insinuates that Marie can do the exact same thing. And that's not always the case. Even if she follows every step I teach her, because she's a human being and she has different abilities and talents than I do, there's too many variables there to guarantee that she's going to make that money as well. Okay. So even if you do that verbally on your Facebook page or other social media platforms, you're opening yourself up for a lawsuit. So that's the reason why the music to the ears message does not have numbers in it. Okay. Is because you do not want to get sued. I did not want to get sued. Okay. I don't use numbers. But I do tell the truth. We're tapping into a new company that's experiencing exponential growth, is in phase 1 growth. That's where 70% of the wealth is created for both the company and individuals. Now's the time to join that company if it has the 5 things the company must have. And guess what? If you use our system, which has been proven time and time again to be based on the fundamental principles of the business building process, you are in a position where you could generate an incredible income. Okay. There's more going for you there in that scenario than against you. Well, the music to the ears message reflects that scenario without mentioning money or numbers. And the reason is so we don't get sued. I'd encourage you not to do the same if you insist on using social media platforms. Now, Miss Marie touched on something that is absolutely true and more of a pro than a con. Let's say that you take our advice, you don't use social media in the beginning, you instead get lead generations. You set up a lead generation system in online lead generation systems and other, your name list and your being a foot soldier, whatever. In other words, you have a multi-pronged approach to generating leads, and you start experiencing some success. And you go to a corporate event, you may go across stage for your first pin level. You may be recognized on the website for your first pin level. You may have your first award. You can post pictures of your award. You cannot post pictures of your check. Okay. My point is, as Miss Marie said, if you're new, don't get caught up. Don't chase that shiny object. Do the basics. Do what we teach you. And if you do and you start experiencing success, then you can think about setting up a social media presence showing your success without bragging about it, because that speaks volumes. Okay. And if you go, let's say you're going to Utah to a corporate event, take pictures of Utah, take pictures of you up in the mountains, take pictures of you with a bunch of people, showing them the good time, laughing, show them the dinner, the restaurant you're going to, put videos on there. Man, I've never been to this restaurant, I always wanted to go. Don't talk about the business. Okay. Because people will get that you are in network marketing and you're having fun. People love to have fun. People love to travel. You're touching people where they really like to be touched. I want to travel like that. I want to laugh like that. I want to be around people like that. Okay. And if you have a picture of you going across stage, or you could be ready to go on stage and you can take a selfie video of yourself saying, man, I'm so nervous. I'm getting ready to go up on stage. I went from, a newbie to direct in my first month. And man, it's been a crazy ride, but I'm really nervous. I'm going up to get an award. I'll show you guys a picture of the award after I get it later on. And then post that video. Okay. Don't mention the product. Don't mention the company. Don't mention none of that. Just reflect your life, what you're going through. But you got to have some success in the beginning to be able to do that. Otherwise, you're just another network marketer trying to recruit people to join you. And that's got a negative connotation instead of a positive one. All right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely. And the one thing I'll toss in here just as a little helpful hint, when it comes to that lifestyle type branding that you're going for, I would recommend doing one of two things. Either start a business page that is separate from your personal.
Absolutely.
Put yourself in as a public figure, or start a separate quote unquote personal page. Keep your personal page private for the friends and family.
Yes. This
is a mistake I often see, is people will use just their personal Facebook page. They'll want to post these lifestyle type of videos and pictures and those types of things. But the settings within their personal page are only viewable by their friends and family anyhow. And that's not really what you want. You want to make sure those posts are public so that other people can see them, friends of friends of friends, because that's the expanse you want to start tapping into that may be interested in a potential opportunity, probably more so than your immediate circle of people, unless you happen to be in an environment of entrepreneurial minded people.
Yeah. And here's the thing, guys. Once you start having this success and you take the videos of the restaurant and the videos you're getting ready to go up on stage, and you take a picture of your award and post it on your page, if you have the music to the ears message along with a form and a first class banner, and that's all you have on there, you now have a page that really can set up your brand. Build your brand. Be an outstanding person, be honest, be ethical, and you're going to be miles ahead of your competition. You're going to attract high quality people to you because high quality people have the same traits. Birds of the same feather flock together. So the people like myself would recognize a scammy person right off the bat. I'm like, I ain't dealing with that person. I have nothing, because my brand means too much to me. On the other hand, if I run into a Marie and I see her postings and I say, you know what, there's potential here. Seems like she's got the same values I do. She's got the same approach I do. I think we got a lot in common. There may be something, and I may be inclined to contact her and say, I'd like to talk on the phone. And that phone call would be an investigative part. In other words, an interview on my part to see if what I thought I saw on her page is real. And if it is, to further learn more about her so that maybe we could do something together. Okay. That's what that page would do for you. Okay. But the moment you start promoting a product, the moment you start promoting the comp plan I'm telling you, you've shot your wad. It's over. It's done. You are now a network marketer, and you have now branded yourself, and you are going to lose high quality people, not attract them. You'll attract network marketers. Don't get me wrong, but there's a big difference between business builders and network marketers. That's the reason why Miss Marie and I tell you all the time, you're an entrepreneur utilizing the network marketing business model to create the lifestyle income you want. You have to realize you're not a network marketer. That's not to distance ourselves from network marketing. It's not to distance ourselves from that word. We're not ashamed of that at all. Otherwise, we wouldn't be broadcasting this across the world. What we realize is the damage that can be done by being perceived as a network marketer, because there's so much negative connotation and preconceived ideas of what that person is all about. Miss Marie and I are about making money. We're entrepreneurs. We don't care if we use the network marketing business model, if we have other businesses. It doesn't matter. Right, Miss Marie?
Yes, and that's one of the things you have to be aware of as well. Even if you do things right and you're early on in network marketing and leveraging that vehicle to build your business, you are going to be identified by other network marketers as a potential prospect, and you're going to have people flipping the script on you constantly. So you end up thinking, oh, this person's contacted me, I have a prospect, and it honestly turns into wasting more time than anything else, in my opinion. There are better ways to focus your time, because let's face it, most of us have a full-time job, a family, other things going on. We're trying to wedge this network marketing business building into the cracks of our schedule. So that time you have to spend, you need to be focusing on consistent and correct business building activities. And I promise you, messaging back and forth with people on Facebook who've pinged you because they saw a picture of whatever, that's not the best way to spend your time either.
Right. And you know what? You bring up a subject that we need to do a show on. If you don't mind writing it down, being recruited by other network marketers, especially veterans. Because if you're a star, and she nailed it, you're going to get contacted. I'm going to tell you that right now. And if you have an effective social media presence and you're doing well on social media, promoting your brand, not recruiting people, okay, then you're going to get contacted. And I'm going to tell you that can be dangerous, okay? It's another one of those shiny object things, but we'll talk about that in the future, because you need to know how to handle that situation. I don't know why we didn't think of that before. Even if you're a newbie and you're doing well, believe me, the word will get out and they will come after you. So, and you could put your future in jeopardy if you fall for what they will say and do. Anyway, to stay on topic here, guys, realize if you're going to have a social media presence, you have to limit it to this, to build your brand. And in order to build your brand, you got to remain professional. You got to remain as neutral as possible. And you got to come across as a professional business builder, okay, that you're about making money. That's how you're going to attract high quality people, no matter what platform you're using. And when I mean platform, I don't mean just social media platforms. I mean, even if you're using lead generation sites, okay, it has to come across that you are a professional, okay? The brand that you're building has to reflect what people are looking for. And if you do videos and snapshots, okay, even if you have a blog, and then we should say, Miss Marie, that blogs are included in this because Facebook is just a personal blog, okay? It's a platform. It really is a blog. Instead of you building it yourself and maintaining it yourself, Facebook has pretty much built a blog, because in blogging, what you do, Miss Marie, is you upload videos, you type in content, you upload pictures. Guess what? That's exactly what you do in Facebook. Now, it has a lot more on the peripheral, obviously. It has a lot more capabilities, but in the essence of its existence, it's about posting, right, Miss Marie? Period.
Yep.
Whether it's a video, whatever, okay? They've done a wonderful job adding all these peripheral capabilities on it. But when it's all said and done, it's no different than a blog. The difference between the blog is you have to have a hosting company and you have to open up the blog. You have to set it up, blah, 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 blah. Where at Facebook, you just go in and set up an account. So if you have a blog, you can do the same thing that you would do on Facebook, but you got to take the same approach, okay? Now, the cons are going to far outweigh. And the cons, look, if you spend all that time building up your brand on these social media platforms, and then you decide to post your product, your comp plan, company leadership, bam, it will go down faster than it ever went up. I mean, just boom. And if you have a blog, same thing. It doesn't matter. You got to have the same approach. The cons is once you ruin your brand, you can, as far as the people that you've already contacted, if you contacted 1,000 people and you go out and ruin your brand by all of a sudden overnight for whatever reason and decide you're going to post like a network marketer, you're not going to get those 1,000 people back. You cannot convince them, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm truly a business builder, okay? Because they're going to be able to go on there and see that you posted. Yes, you can delete them, but guess what? The internet never forgets. So the bottom line is that they're savvy. They're going to find out, and especially if you have a job. That's another thing, Miss Marie, one of the biggest cons. If you're doing the network marketing business and you have a job and you have a good job, I'm going to promise you that you are going to be putting yourself out there, creating a page to drive other network marketers too, because guess what? Maybe somebody that you know is looking at the network marketing industry and they see your page and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. You know, and they may say, hey, you know what I ran into the other day? Even though you're keeping your mouth shut at work and you're building it from the outside in, like we tell you, all of a sudden somebody who's more of a motor mouth is out there saying, Marie, guess who I ran into the other day on the internet, and guess what they're doing? And Marie's like, no, are you kidding me? And then Marie, without thinking they're doing any harm, they're just talking. And then Marie says it to somebody else, hey, you know what? Rob has a blah, 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 blah. And the next thing you know how rumors are, Miss Marie, and how they can spread and how the message can get so twisted. And then all of a sudden, your HR finds out about it, you know, and they go to the page. And next thing you know, Rob's being called into HR. Rob, you can't do that. If you're going to work here, you cannot do that. Now you're in big trouble. Okay. Now you may not get fired, but you got to take that page down. You got to make a choice. And now, even though you take the page down, they know that you're in network marketing. And if you approach anybody in any way, shape, or form at work, you are putting your job in jeopardy. Guys, bad news. Right, Miss Marie?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a secret life on the internet. It's going to come out, and heaven help you if you decide to run for office 20 or 30 years. Somebody's going to find it.
Isn't that the truth? So, guys, that's one of the biggest cons of having a social media presence in the network marketing business model. We share this with you to save you this embarrassment, this aggravation, this potentially job-ending environment. Okay, you do not. Now, there again, what Miss Marie said in the beginning is absolutely correct. Get your success first, okay? What if you put yourself in a position where your income in your network marketing business, which we advocate, matches or exceeds your job income? Well, if that's the case and you built it right, we had a show just last week about stability, building stability. Depth equals security. If you don't know what that means, go and look at that. All important. That was a wonderful show. I'm very proud of that show. We really nailed it. Go back and listen to that episode. It is critical because if you build your business up to where it meets your income at your job or exceeds it, just because it does it 1 or 2 months in a row doesn't mean your business is stable enough to leave your job. We talk about that in that episode. My point is, if you build your business to the point where your income in your network marketing business is meeting or exceeding your income at the job on a continual basis, then you are in a position where you can start branding yourself on social media. Because if your HR calls you in and says, Rob, we noticed you need to take that down, you are now in the power position and have some leverage where you can think to yourself, you know, I'm not really sure I'm willing to do that. I'm on a roll. I'm gonna run with this, and I'm gonna see, because I can't afford to slow down the momentum in my business. I've worked too hard, and I've really got a brand going here. And I think that this brand is worth a lot more than this job. Because guys, even if you lose your job and the network marketing thing doesn't work out, if you're talented and professional enough and have the abilities, you can get a job again. Okay, the job market is really strong out there. I'm telling you, I see people going to jobs all the time, being promoted, this and that. I don't know about where you guys are, but I mean, here the job market's crazy, even in the environment that we're in. So the bottom line is that in today's environment, the chances of you finding a job is going to be pretty darn good. Okay. But you have to make that choice. We're not going to advocate one or the other. We always advocate safety. We always advocate make sure you have your ducks lined up. We always advocate paying off your debt and having 3 months of savings in place, right, Miss Marie, before leaving any job. Even if HR doesn't find out, you need to have your ducks lined up. That's what we advocate. Be safe. Don't be sorry, right?
Absolutely. Well, and the one thing I'm going to say, kind of in summarizing my perspective on this, is unless you have a background with Facebook, I'll use that as the example, but insert whatever social media platform, blogging platform, website, whatever you want, unless you have experience with Facebook marketing, running ads, those types of things, you are going to think it's going to benefit you a whole lot more than it really is in the end, because you're going to find yourself going down a rabbit hole of a time suck that you're not going to be able to get back, and you're going to lose momentum in building your business through the network marketing opportunity. So be very, very cautious about thinking of implementing it prior to doing a 90-day mini blast.
And there's more cons than there are pros at this point. And plus, Miss Marie, the stress of maintaining that page. It's another thing on your agenda that you have to do in the business building process. And the most important thing, it takes your attention away from what really works, which is the 5 simple steps. All you have to do is set up a lead generation system and just do the 5 simple steps and apply your talents. That's it. But you also have to remember, Miss Marie, everything you do is duplicated in your downline, meaning that the people that come through your social media platforms and decide, and they're impressed with your whole layout and your music to the ears message, and they filled out the form and they see your videos and going on stage and they see the picture of your award and they saying, this person's really good. There's nothing on here about the company. In other words, they're impressed that you're a business person instead of a network marketer. That's that's the impression in a nutshell. Here's the thing: if they decide to join you, what do you think they're going to want to do? Same
thing.
Okay, so what does that mean? Maybe you pulled it off, and you're one in 1,000 that's able to do that. Guess what? They're going to get sidetracked, and they're not going to be able to pull it off as good as you are. Maybe they're not they don't speak as well as you do. Maybe they don't have the presence that you do. I was listening and this is on topic. I don't want to get off it. It's a great example. There was this great artist in the 60s, Neil Drake, I forget his name. Very smart, very intelligent guy from the UK, came from a very well-to-do family, went to private school, excelled in private school, had a great demeanor, great personality, soft soul, loving soul. I mean, so many superlatives from people that knew him. He got into the music industry. He loved the music in college. He became this outstanding guitarist that he was an acoustic folk artist is what he was. And he ended up really being super talented. But Miss Marie, he was 20, 30 years ahead of his time. He ended up committing suicide because nobody liked his music. And before he left this world, he created 5 albums that to this day, now he's more popular than ever. And people emulate him and they can't figure out how he got the sound he did. His style of picking everything. It's kind of a mystery, which adds to the intrigue of him. I listened to his music here recently. I'm a big music buff. And I got to say that I don't like all his music, but some of his music is just mesmerizing. And it's just him and an acoustic guitar. Now, why do I tell you that? Because guess what? Even though he had the talents and abilities, Miss Marie, Other people don't, and that's the reason why they can't duplicate what he's done. He had this unique ability, and he developed his own style, and he had this beautiful voice, and it was mesmerizing. But how many people can do that, right?
Well, and again, this business is all about the duplication.
Yeah.
You want your downline doing the same things you are. And if what you're doing is a very specific, very specialized piece of prospecting, branding, whatever, the vast majority of people aren't going to be able to do that. So you're not going to see your business grow the way you want.
That's a reason why I use that example. Because that's a prime example of duplication not being possible because of the unique talents and abilities. You may be able to set up an effective Facebook page. Your downline may not, and they may spend an enormous amount of time trying to replicate what you did. And the contact, how did you do that video? What did you say? How did you do that? And they don't have the presence. And Miss Marie, one of the things about him, he had a terrible stage presence. And that's the reason why people, that when he would go and play in the clubs, his stage presence was so benign that people were talking over top of his music and drinking and stuff. And it was just background music. You might as well have a jukebox on. Instead of having that overpowering, like, Van Halen, where you had David Lee Roth out there who had that tremendous personality and wasn't near as talented as this guy. But the thing is, David Lee Roth was right in your face, and he had that overpowering personality, and people were like, whoa, and totally fixated on him. You can see the difference between the two. Well, that's exactly what we're talking about in this Facebook thing. You may be able to make a compelling music to the ears message video, but your downline can't. And they're trying over and over and over to make these videos, not doing the 5 simple steps. Okay. And they may have the talent and ability to apply to the 5 simple steps and achieve amazing things. But because they're not doing the activity, they're focused on what? The social media side. I can do this. I can do this. Instead of doing the steps, right, Miss Marie? That's what you're getting at.
Exactly.
Do the basics, worry about the rest of the crap later. As you can see in this episode, we're going to bring it to a close. There's more cons than there are pros in the social media aspect. We're not saying it won't work. What we're saying is not going to work for everybody, and it's not duplicatable. That's the bottom line, okay? And as far as branding goes, it can do that for you, okay? But there again, not everybody is going to have the presence, and branding is about presence. That's the reason why I brought up David Lee Roth. Okay, I imagine on Facebook and the other social media, David Lee Roth has probably millions of followers, okay, because of his brand, because of his personality. Very few people can pull that off, okay, and you can't expect anybody in your downline to have the same presence that you do. So with that being said, we encourage you, as we close this, to not do social media. I would say wait until you get successful. And Miss Marie, once you get successful, that is duplicatable. Here's why, as we close. Once you reach a success, you're branding yourself as a successful a business builder, excuse me. I don't know why that came out. But the point is, when your downline does it, they're going to follow your lead. They're going to say, you know what, Marie didn't put a page up until she was Emerald. And she was totally focused on the business. And they may ask Marie, Rob may call Marie, why did you wait until you were Emerald? Wouldn't it have been better? Marie would say no, and here's why. Okay. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay. So, and if somebody, like if Marie doesn't have, as we close, and I am closing, and if Marie does not have a social media presence until she reaches Emerald, and one of her new people comes in and says, Marie, and in the first week or so, why I want to use social media. What's your impression? If she doesn't have a presence, okay, guess what she can say? Here's why I don't have it. And her actions, meaning she does not have a social media presence, backs up her words. Okay, so that is duplicatable. Both of those scenarios are positive and are duplicatable, and keeps people focused on what? The basics, 5 simple steps. Right, Miss Marie, as we close?
Yep. Absolutely. That is very true. And again, this is information you're not going to hear anywhere else. We're trying to bring you what is going to benefit you the most. So make sure you join us every weekday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're always live right here. And Rob actually alluded to an episode we did of our podcast last week, Wednesday, called Depth is Security. Well, we're going to revisit the flip side of that coin this Wednesday, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to be talking about width is wealth. So be sure to join us for that. You're not going to want to miss it. And of course, please like, comment, and share on our various social media platforms. You can find us across the interwebs by using hashtag the MLM Solution. That's hashtag the MLM Solution. And come visit our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to that, and you can register for notifications there so you can be notified when we have new content available for you. We appreciate you giving us a thumbs up, letting us know you're understanding the points we're making, you like what we're hearing, and even if you want to drop us a comment, let us know what resonated with you, or maybe if you have a question, maybe there's something we didn't cover sufficiently, we need to do another episode, or there's just some little question we neglected to answer in the episode. Well, we'll certainly get back to you as quick as we can. And finally, our website, themlmsolution.net. Tons of valuable information there for you. Strongly recommend you go visit. And of course, we have a feedback form available there as well. Feel free to let us know your thoughts using themlmsolution.net/survey. Very easy form. You can fill it out less than 2 minutes.
That's right. There you go. So tomorrow's topic, as she said, October 28th, 11 a.m. is width is wealth. Goes hand in hand with depth is security. Absolutely essentials in the business building process. Sometimes they happen automatically. Sometimes they don't. You need to know about them so that you can build a successful business that will sustain the lifestyle and income that you're seeking. Otherwise, you are building a business on quicksand. All right, guys, that's it. I'm done. That tongue twister, I don't know why that twisted my tongue, but we're done. We will see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, themlmsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.